I believe that everybody has a story, and I'm fascinated to hear them. So come with me as we take a walk down Fascination Street.
You know that 3 o'clock energy lag that everybody feels? Where normally you're reaching for a Coca-Cola or a Starbucks? Well, now you don't have to. Forget everything that you think you know about inhalation, and imagine a world where inhaled products are designed for health and wellness. Imagine inhaled products engineered to be free of toxins and instead provide a functional benefit with every breath. Well, that world is now. Introducing electronic caffeine from the good folks at Inhale Health. Inhalation allows caffeine to be absorbed instantaneously, providing faster effects than possible through beverages or pills. Instead of rushing to your favorite soft drink or Starbucks for a dump truck full of calories, now you can just reach into your pocket and pull out your disposable caffeine vape pen. Each 3-second inhalation introduces 16 micrograms of caffeine directly into your bloodstream. So finally, that midday burst of energy you're looking for is just a breath away. Each vape pen comes preloaded with 400 breaths, which is roughly a 1-month supply, and is already charged. You don't need to refill it. You don't need to recharge it. When you're done, simply throw it in the recycle bin and order another one. I love this product so much that I actually reached out to the company and asked them to sponsor my show. And they agreed. So here's what they're going to do. Every one of my listeners who goes to inhalehealth.com and orders any of their 7 different vape pen products is going to get a 10% discount plus free shipping when you put in the promo code FSP as in Fascination Street Podcast. So there it is, guys. That's inhalehealth.com, 10% off any of their 7 products, free shipping. Promo code FSP. So give it a shot. You'll be glad you did. Hey guys, Steve Owens here. I'm here to tell you about the coolest subscription-based monthly curator of men's fashion, the Menlo Club. Here's how it works. When you sign up at menlohouse.com, you choose your color and style categories. Then, each month, they send several pieces of clothing specially selected for you, all for $60 per month, tax and shipping included. Items like button-ups, both long and short-sleeved, t-shirts, shorts, jeans, pants, sweaters, athleisure wear, even sunglasses and shoes. And as a special deal for my listeners, if you sign up and use promo code FSP, you'll receive 50% off your first month's package, plus a pair of 5-4 brand sneakers and socks. So sign up today at menlohouse.com and use promo code FSP as in Fascination Street Podcast at checkout. Welcome back, guys. This week's guest is Connecticut mother turned author Lisa Roisum. We talk about what led her to writing her first book. She tells us what her first book is about, and she cautiously tells us what the second book is about. Here you go, guys. Lisa Roisum.
Yeah, talk to me, yeah.
All right, guys, I want to welcome to the show author and, from what I can tell on social media, all-around good girl, Lisa Roisum. Did I say that right? Is it Roisum or Roisum?
Yes, Roisum.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Lisa Roisum, for calling in to Fascination Street. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Now, I don't know a whole lot about you because you're somewhat of a mystery on the internet. So all I really know about you is that you live in Connecticut and you are the author of a couple of books that we'll talk about in a few minutes. But first, tell me about where you came from, why you're in Connecticut.
Well, this is where I was born and raised,
What?
pretty much.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just always lived here.
So can you tell me where in Connecticut, or is it a mystery like the rest of your story?
Oh, no. I live in a small town down in the southeast corner.
Oh, okay, cool. You know what's weird is that you're not the first author I've interviewed from Connecticut.
Really? That's funny.
It is funny considering I've never met anybody from Connecticut before, as far as I know. And then, fairly recently I've interviewed 2 authors from Connecticut. So that's cool.
Wow. Oh, neat.
Have you only ever lived in Connecticut?
Well, for a short time, my husband and I moved to Wisconsin when my oldest daughter was very small. We only lived there for maybe a half a year or so, and we came back. But other than that, I've always lived here, yeah.
And the only other thing I was able to find out about you is that your husband's name is Kevin.
Yes, yes, yep.
So tell me about, because I know that you haven't always been a writer. What did you do before you decided to write?
For the most part, I've been a mom for a lot of years. When my kids were small, I worked as a home health aide.
Wow.
And I did that for several years. And then at one point, I started my own daycare. I did that for a couple of years.
Wow.
And then when my oldest granddaughter was born, I stopped working and I was taking care of her. And I've been pretty much doing that since. There's been 2 more grandchildren that have joined the family since. You know, I write and I take care of my grandkids.
That's crazy. You have grandkids? You don't look or
Yes.
sound old enough to have grandkids.
Well, I started my family young, and then my oldest daughter, in turn, started her family young. So, yeah, I have 12. She just turned 12-year-old granddaughter, and then the 2 smaller ones are 4 and 3, a girl and a boy.
All from the same daughter?
Yes. Yep.
Cool. And I'm assuming they live nearby?
Yeah, they live in the same town, not too far from here.
That's good. That helps out. I know that, a lot of times people spread out all over the place and they don't get to see their grandbabies very often. So good for you.
Yeah, we're real happy. Spend a lot of time with them.
So when did you decide that you wanted to be a writer?
Well, I've pretty much always wanted to be a writer. See, when I was in 3rd grade, I think I won my first writing award, and I think ever since that I've had the bug.
That's really funny.
But
When I was in 3rd grade, I also won a writing award.
really,
Yes, there was a campaign to get kids to read more, and we had to write a song that would, entice people. So I guess it was a songwriting contest at my school. And so I wrote a song called Read It to the tune of Michael Jackson's Beat It.
oh, how funny!
And I got
That's
to
neat.
I got to pick anything for my prize. I got to pick any poster out of the school store and have it laminated in the library. And so I chose a poster of Michael Jackson. He was wearing like white slacks and like a yellow sweater vest. And that's the only thing I remember. I don't have the poster obviously, but and that was the last time I won anything for writing anything because as you are about to find out, I can barely put 2 sentences together.
Well, I find it a lot easy to speak on paper myself.
Well, I think we are polar opposites in that regard. So for me, winning that in 3rd grade did absolutely nothing to burn my desire or to be creative. But for you, it sounds like that was the seeds, the spark of something magical. So what happened after that?
I still liked writing for the few after that, and then I think in the 8th grade, I won another writing award. And so then I was sure that was going to be it. That was the thing that I was going to do. But then, I don't know, life happens, and I just never really got back to doing it. I journaled a lot over the years. I wrote really bad poetry.
Nice.
to keep in the writing thing, But it wasn't really until much later that when my kids were small, at one point, I had taken a correspondence course. This is back before the internet, snail mail. So I had done that, but I still didn't really get serious about the writing or anything. And it wasn't until I was quickly approaching my 50th birthday. We had lost several members of my family over the course of a short amount of time. And, when you start thinking about how much time, you're wasting, not really doing the things that you set out to do. And I wondered about people in my family and what kind of dreams did they have? Did they really get to fulfill everything they had wanted to do? And it made me start thinking seriously again about the writing. So then I was like, that's it. I'm going to do it. It's something I've always wanted to do. And that was about 4.5 years ago now. And now I'm in the beginnings of my 3rd book.
Oh, wow. So from 8th grade to about 50, a whole lot of nothing. You just wasted all that time. And then at 50,
Yeah.
At 50, you're like,
Yep.
hey, man, this Earth is spinning a lot faster than I thought it was going to. I better get writing.
Exactly. I am not leaving without getting that book written.
There you go. So, your first book, Remember, Jane and Cassidy, Book 1.
Yes.
How long did it take you to write that once you sat down and started pounding it out?
That one took about 2 years, I think. Yeah, 2.5 years, I think it was.
2.5 years?
Yeah, it took a while.
Whoa.
I babysit my grandkids a lot. I don't get to just sit every day and write all day, unfortunately. I wish I could.
That makes sense. Without giving any spoilers, tell us what Book 1 is about.
Well, it's about a story about good and evil, redemption, but I think at its core, it's really about amazing resilience of the heart and its ability to love against seemingly insurmountable odds. And Cassidy is an angel, but he's different from other angels. He's got like some baggage from the past, and it's kind of altered his path that he was supposed to be on. And so one day he saves a girl from a car wreck, kind of sets off a series of events and complications, but they become friends. They eventually fall in love, and it culminates in her losing her memories of him, like she forgets everything. And then a dark secret from his past comes back and puts Janie in danger. But he's forbidden from the Angel Council to have any contact with her, and so it puts her in grave danger. Like she's in a lot of danger. She no longer remembers the stuff that had happened, and she doesn't know what's the danger that's there. And so then it kind of becomes a race to see if her memories will return in time, to save her. That's kind of the gist of it without giving away too much.
What inspired this story?
I don't really know. I'm a really big fan of the show Supernatural and other shows, like that. And it kind of came about from some of those kind of shows. From there, it just made me start thinking, and I don't know, where do you get stories from? I don't know. They just come.
Well, they don't come to me ever. That's why I was asking.
I don't know. I really don't know where it comes from. That's kind of what inspired it and set off the spark in my head. But where these characters and everything else came from, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just glad it was there.
Me too. It sounds awesome. And this is your first book?
Yes.
And so what did your husband and your family say when you decided you were going to be an author?
Oh, they were very excited about it. They were very excited about it. My oldest daughter actually has helped with the book covers. I'm in the process of re-editing and reformatting the books now. And the ebook version of Remember, I just recently redid with a new book cover, and she is the one that did that. The two people on the front of the book, the models are actually my other daughter and her boyfriend.
Oh, how sweet.
And my oldest daughter designed it and made up the whole book cover and stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's been kind of like a joint project with the family.
That's awesome. Does your husband watch, is he a fan of Supernatural as well?
He wasn't originally, but I've watched it enough now that he started watching it too, and he enjoys it now too.
So when he first started reading, because I'm sure that you would have him read chapters as you were writing the book.
Oh, yeah.
So what was his opinion when he first started reading and he was just like, wait a minute, is this a love story? Wait, there's an angel? What's going on here at the beginning?
He liked it. He always seemed to like it. I think he was a little surprised. I don't think that maybe he really believed me that I was going to write or that I could. And I think that he was kind of surprised when he first started hearing it and stuff. But he enjoyed it. It seemed like he enjoyed it a lot.
Very cool. So obviously we know that there's a second book, and that book is called Homage, Janie and Cassidy Book 2.
Yes.
Without spoiling Book 1, what's Book 2 about?
Yeah, see, that's the tricky thing. I got to be careful what I say in it. In the second book, after the events of the first book take place, they kind of think that everything's all, fine, good, happily ever after. But then something happens, and they realize that there's now a new evil, even worse, that's threatening them. It ends up with that Cassidy is in a big race against time to find a missing angel who holds the key to all this problem that's going on. which includes the fate of somebody very close to him who's now very sick and kind of hanging precariously on the edge of death. And he has to find this missing angel to right all these wrongs, just to fix things. And so it's another big race with time to beat the evil.
Interesting. And were these events inspired by the first story or by something in your life?
No, it's kind of basically just a continuation of the first story. No, it's definitely not inspired by anything in my life.
So, so when you finished the first book, you only thought you were finished and you started writing the second one?
Well, yeah, I always swore that I would never write a series because I don't like it when I read a book and you get to the end and you find out that it's not the end and you have to go on to another one. I swore I would never do that. But then as I was writing it, when I got right down to literally the last paragraph, something came to me. And, and I also, again, I won't spoil anything, but at the very paragraph, something came to me and I was like, oh no, this isn't done.
That's so funny.
And it just drew up this other whole entire scenario.
Recently
so I was like, yep, I'm writing a small series.
Recently, I was having a conversation with a television writer, and we were talking about the books that he reads, and he typically likes to read books that are a series, and his reasoning was that, once you're getting toward the end of that, well, he said that once you get sort of toward the middle of a book, if there's not another book in that series, then the last half of the book, you sort of spend preoccupied with not being with these people anymore because, they're going away and you're going to leave this world. And so he likes to pick books that have a series of books because, if he likes these characters, then he wants to hang out with them more and stay with them. So.
Yeah, I get that. I get that even from the writer's point of view too. That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. So what kind of things do you read?
I read a lot of different kinds of things, really. I like thrillers, mysteries. I like romance. I read a wide variety of things. I'm also a really big reader. I love to read.
I find that most authors are voracious readers. And honestly, I was really hoping you were going to say that you only read trashy Harlequin romance novels.
No. No, I read a big variety of things. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint.
So tell me a little bit about the publishing process. How hard was it for you to get this first book published?
Well, I did it through Kindle and Amazon. It wasn't really that hard, but I found that I didn't know a lot about book formatting and such. And as time went by, I've learned more about it, and that's why I'm redoing these now, to just make them better in appearance. And, it was my first time. I was learning, so trying to put what I've learned to work and improve the appearance and the whole thing, the layout. Because I did it myself, it really wasn't that hard. I am hoping to start maybe sending out some query letters to agents because I'm kind of looking forward to doing something other than the self-publishing.
Gotcha.
It's a good way to get started, but it's not something that I've been overall happy with.
In what way?
So, I don't know. I don't know a lot about advertising and trying to get stuff out about the book and all that. I do what I can, but you're really on your own when you do it that way. And I would like to have maybe somebody behind me to help with that type of stuff.
Well, from what I've heard from other smaller authors, once they do get a publisher, they feel like they're on their own anyway with all of that. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing to hear.
It is a little disappointing. I've talked to people who've just gotten frustrated and just said forget it. And so I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but before you sign anything, make sure you know what you're going to get from them.
Right, yep.
So, you said you're working on a third book?
Yes.
The lady who wasn't going to write a series is now writing the third book in that series?
Yeah, well, it's sort of part of the series. What it actually is, it's kind of a prequel, and it's about one of the side characters in the book. I kind of, as I was going along, started realizing that he had kind of an interesting backstory. So this takes place in the early 2000s, It's kind of his backstory leading up to the Janie and Catholic story. So it's
Interesting.
sort of part of the series, but it's kind of really more like adjacent. You know what I mean?
I do. A friend of mine, well, I don't know if he knows he's my friend, but I think he's my friend. He's an author. He's an author. His name is Seth Harwood, and he wrote a series of books called Jack Palms. It's basically a sort of a gritty noir detective kind of a thing. Detective guy named Jack. He's like a failed actor, and then he becomes sort of a private detective kind of. And in his first book, there was a side character who was basically a drug dealing gang member, and his name was Junius Pons. And just like you, he ended up spinning that Junius Pons character into his own book. And that book was called Young Junius, and I think that it might be his most successful, I guess, how you say traditionally successful book of all of his books. And he's written about probably 13 or 14 books.
Wow.
And that book is like the Young Junius is the most sought after of his library, and it's also my personal favorite of all of his books. So, good things might be in the works with this side character, book 3.
Yeah, baby, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it surprised him, the fact that this character decided to spin off into a story, and then again, it surprised him a lot more when it became it's very successful.
Wow.
So what is that character's name? Is it Andy?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, this is Andy's story.
Does he have his name written on the bottom of his foot?
No, not that Andy.
Oh, all right. All right.
No.
Will there be a book 4, since book 3 is a side book? It's sort of like Han Solo it's a Star Wars story, but it's not in the story.
Yeah.
So will there be a 4th book?
I don't know. I guess the door is always open. I swore I wasn't going to, but then I started having ideas from this one, how this one could connect back to Janie and Cassie's story and how it could possibly go on from where I left their story off. So I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how this book goes.
Spoiler alert, they don't die at the end of book 2.
Well, we'll see.
Nicely.
This is a supernatural story. You never know what can happen.
Nicely done. So do you have other stories planned, other characters, maybe something wholly different?
Not yet, no. I'm sure there's plenty of ways I could go, I'm sure, but right now I've just still been concentrating on these, between getting that 3rd book written and redoing the other 2. I'm kind of, my brain's pretty full at the moment. I haven't really thought too much past those yet.
Plus, you still have all them grandbabies.
Yeah. They keep me busy.
I am 100% sure of that. Now, you said that these books are available ebook. Are they available in like an actual physical Dead Tree book as well?
Yes, they're both available on Amazon. Remember, ebook is the only one that has the new cover. I haven't completed the covers on the Remember paperback or the other 2 versions of Homage. But they are all available though. But they just don't all have the new look.
Cool. What's the furthest away from you that you know of that you have sold a book?
Australia.
Whoa!
I have a friend in Australia.
Wow.
And she bought one. I think that one of her friends may have too. I can't remember now.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So do you do book signings and readings or anything like that?
No, I haven't done anything like that, no.
Boy, you are an advertising wonder.
Yeah, I know, right? Told you I need an agent. I'm more the writer. I'm not really very good with the other stuff.
Well, what does your husband do?
I'm trying to break out of my box here and expand,
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job since you already have 2.5 books written. That's way more than me. I barely have 2.5. I barely have 2.5 sentences written. So the other author that I interviewed, who was born and raised and lived her whole life in Connecticut, had never heard of the book A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Have you heard of this?
Really? I've definitely heard of it. I've never read it, but I've heard of it.
Oh my gosh. It was
I think
required.
it was a movie, too.
It was required reading here in San Antonio, Texas, 30 or 40 years ago or whatever. And neither one of you have read it. She had never even heard of it.
Wow.
You people.
That's something. That's cool.
You guys are crazy. So tell me what your day looks like. A writing day.
A writing day? I don't know. Pretty much I get up, I make coffee, I shuffle out to the dining room and start typing. That's pretty much it.
Well, can I make one suggestion
It's
to
a
help?
long commute.
Can I make one suggestion to help get your creative juices flowing? Instead of shuffling to the living room, maybe you should moonwalk.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah, moonwalk.
I'll have to give it a try.
And then whoever sees you, like if your husband sees you, whatever comes out of his mouth, that could be your writing prompt for the day.
Hey, there we go. I'll have to give that a try. That could be interesting.
See, just call me. I got your back. I can help you out. What does your husband do?
He does industrial pipe insulation. He's a contractor.
So he's not in advertising. All right. How are we going to get this done? Let's see here. Do you have a website?
No, I don't. I have my Instagram. I have my Facebook author account, and I have Twitter. I don't have a. That's something I should probably do, though, huh?
Yes. I think yes. I'm gonna say yes. I think you can get
My daughter
one.
has mentioned that too.
I'm sure that everybody who knows you wants to mention it to you, but figures you already have it. So go get it. It costs you about $9, and it'll make you all the money in the whole world.
Wow, really?
Yeah, all the money in the whole world.
Wow, that's that's a very well spent $9.
It is a very well spent $9. If somebody buys a Dead Tree book from Amazon, they're just going to get a Dead Tree book from Amazon. But if they buy it from you, they're going to get one with a signature, which makes it even cooler.
Oh.
And then when you go do your readings and your signings out and about in your little tiny town in Connecticut, you will have a website to push them toward. You know what, guys? I just ran out of books. But if you go to my website and get one, I'll autograph it for you there.
Ooh, hey, that's a good idea.
See, I'm neat. I am so neat. So your third book that you're working on, it's about a character named Steve.
Character named Steve, and he has his name written on the bottom of his shoe.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And he spells one of the letters backwards or something. He's weird. So the last time that you sat down to write and you got distracted, what were you distracted by?
Probably the phone. Either the phone ringing or wondering about what's going on my social media account. That's usually the things that distract me. I try not to. I try to be disciplined, but I'm kind of bad about that.
Do you ever get writer's block? I mean, besides just being distracted, do you ever are blocked?
Yeah, there's been some days that's happened, but normally if that happens, I don't try to push it. I just go do something else and then try again the next day, and usually it works itself out. It hasn't really ever been too much of a long-term problem.
So when you do decide to go do something else to clear your mind or get away from it or whatever, what is it that you do?
Well, maybe clean the house. That's always a good one because then I'm busy, but that one part of my brain is free to still kind of work things out with the book. That's always a really good one for clearing that. Maybe walk the dog, read a book.
So when your husband comes home from his contracting job and you greet him at the door and say, honey, I wrote 4 chapters today. He just looks around at the dust bunnies running across the floor and goes, yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, maybe sometimes. I don't know. He wouldn't say it out loud. but he surely might think it.
That's funny. So here's what I want to do, and let me know if this is okay with you. I want to give away one of book 1 and one of book 2. But what I want is the first person who emails me a receipt showing me they bought the physical copy of book 1, I will send them book 2. And the first person who sends me an email copy of the receipt for the actual tangible Dead Tree book 2, I will send them book 1. But it can't be the same person. Are you okay with that?
Sure. That sounds exciting.
Cool. So everybody who's listening, you just heard the terms. Email me that receipt to fascinationstreetpod@gmail.com, and I will send you the other book.
Fantastic.
Now, Lisa, I need you to give me all of your social media tags, all your names and social security. No, not that. All of your names, all of your handles on social media. Where can people find you?
Like, as I said, I am on Twitter. I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
So you are on all 3 of those. Everybody just scroll down into the show notes, and all of those handles, her social media links will be there. And follow her on all of those different things, and reach out to her because she does respond. She's very diligent and very sweet about that. So make sure to reach out to her and tell her how much you like her books and her stories.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Before I let you go, can you tell me, is there anything that I didn't ask that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think you really pretty much covered it all.
Cool. Well, thank you. And one more time, will you just tell everybody what the names of your books are and where to find them? Oh, wait. Scroll down to the bottom, and right under in the bottom of the show notes, right under all of her social media tags, will be a link to her author page on Amazon, and you can buy her books there. And then under that will also be direct links to each book, so you can just click on it from there. But in the meantime, why don't you tell everybody what the names of these books are?
All right. The first book is called Remember, Janie and Cassidy, Book 1. And the second book is Homage, Janie and Cassidy, Book 2.
And the third one is a little more than halfway done and coming out sometime in the future, yes?
Nah, it's not quite halfway done, but yes, coming out sometime in the future, though.
Oh my gosh, play along already.
I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep.
Gotcha.
Hopefully by the beginning of next year.
Oh, okay, cool.
2019.
Cool. Well,
Shooting for that.
Everybody make sure to follow Lisa Roisum and check out her books, Remember and Homage, Janie and Cassidy, books 1 and 2, and follow her on the social medias. Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it, and I really appreciate your giving me the time and helping me get word out.
Absolutely my pleasure. Let's get some books sold in Russia and Japan and in Hong Kong and stuff, all right? Let's get you going.
Yes, let's, please.
All right. Thank you so much, Lisa. And if you need anything, you have my number, so just reach out to me. And I'm going to steal your phone number, and I will text you periodically to let you know what's going on.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Lisa. You have a great rest of your day.
Yes, thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You've heard of CBD oil, right? Everybody has. CBD oil helps with relaxation as well as joint and muscle pain. But do you know what hemp-derived CBD oil is? Let's talk about HempWorks. HempWorks products are made from industrial hemp plants grown on Kentucky farms. And the CBD constituent that naturally occurs in industrial hemp is just one of over 85 cannabinoids that is identified in the cannabis plant. HempWorks CBD oil is CO2 extracted, resulting in a solvent-free, pure extraction. HempWorks offers 500 milligram and 750 milligram full-spectrum hemp oils. They also offer them in 2 flavors, peppermint and natural. They do not use any artificial sweeteners or flavorings. And also offer THC-free versions of these oils if you are subject to regular drug screening. HempWorks CBD oil is non-GMO and organic, produced on Kentucky farms, and is free of GMOs, synthetics, fillers, and other harmful ingredients. HempWorks is so confident in their oils and products that they give you a 30-day empty bottle refund policy. If you change your mind within 30 days of ordering, send it back and they will refund your entire purchase price. HempWorks offers several products, including an anti-aging cream, a Revive cream infused with collagen retinol, which has incredible benefits for the skin, a Relief cream, which helps soothe and relax muscles, Also, HempWorks has products for pets. There's dog treats and CBD oil. And the dog treats are soy-free, corn-free, and grain-free. I believe that HempWorks ships to all 50 states and some countries. So if you're interested in learning more or purchasing any of these HempWorks products, go to www.hempworks.com/BREXHEMP84. That's www.hempworks.com/BREXHEMP84. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Most workplace drug screens and tests target delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and do not detect the presence of cannabidiol, CBD. Cannabidiol, CBD, is a naturally occurring constituent of the industrial hemp plant. HempWorks does not sell or distribute any products that are in violation of the United States Controlled Substance Act. The company does sell and distribute hemp-based products.
Opening music is the song Magnolia from the 2014 album Intransigence, used with permission from Douglas Miles Clark. Closing music is Apollo from the 2001 album Into the Known by the band Sapphire. Thanks for hanging out with us and getting to know a little bit about our guest. We'll see you next time on Fascination Street.